So I think, most of you know me, and for those that don't, I am after school project manager, program manager with Young Entrepreneur Institute, and we are located in Cleveland, Ohio, actually housed at a boys' school here. But as you know, we work throughout the nation with after school groups like you, in Missouri and Wyoming and Utah and Massachusetts. So love being able to see all the different wonderful things that everybody's doing out there. But we believe that every child should understand and experience entrepreneurship. And that's whether or not they become an entrepreneur, because as you guys know, it's that mindset that's so important. When you think of, Scott talking about grit and resilience and persuasive speaking and creativity, problem solving, just all those skills that are just going to be awesome for these kids to succeed now and in their future life. So we're all about entrepreneurship mindset in the K through 12 age group. And this is just a snippet for those of you who are new to us of things that we do here at the Young Entrepreneur Institute. In terms of professional development, we have an Inspire conference in November, and that will be hybrid this year. So love any and all of you to join us for that. More news coming up. We do something called Power Hours, and those are monthly resource sessions, again, free of charge, typically at 4:00 Eastern Standard Time on the third Thursday of the month. And those are all on our website. We pick a topic: leadership, social entrepreneurship, creativity, marketing, just all kinds of different topics, and get resources that are within that topic, and then some educators that have used those resources. So feel free to join us. We'll talk about pitch challenges. We also have a great resource directory. So if you're looking for something specific, feel free to pop into that. It is filterable. So you can say, I have a middle school group, 5th grade, and I would love to know what activities are out there, what speakers are out there, field trips. So feel free to pop into that. We also have a speakers bureau, again, something that in Northeast Ohio, these folks are kind to give of their time and talent, go into classrooms, after school programs, and speak. But now that everybody's virtual, they will come to you. So feel free to check that out. And also, if you have somebody might like to join our speakers bureau, we're always looking for new people. So Lemonade Day, we work with here in Northeast Ohio. Happy to connect you with them in your area. So just all kinds of different things in this K through 12 range. I already talked about Celebrate Youth Entrepreneurship. So I will give you guys I'll reference the link after I finish talking and put that in the chat, or pass it off to Mark and Aaron to send out to all of you. So a little bit about the Missouri Pitch Challenge, and Mark and Aaron, feel free to pop in. We have just finished up a flyer, which I can show you as well. But it is starting sort of now, right, Mark and Aaron? And it goes until July 15th is the deadline. So lots of time to work on this with your kids. We're just talking about a under 2-minute pitch, whether depending on the age group, just if it's under 2 minutes, that's awesome. We love it when we see the kids in an individual pitch. So if the kids can, do the pitch, and they get then the persuasive speaking and the creativity, something that they're passionate about. It can be a service. It can be a product. It could be a social enterprise, a political endeavor, anything that they are super interested in, and they don't need to start the business. So no worries. They don't need to do a prototype either. We meant to make it sort of a light lift for them to come up with an idea. And it also doesn't need to be a commercial. So kids, you can film this, in your backyard, in your school, in your after school program, at home, wherever. It doesn't have to be fancy. And these guys have 1 grand prize winner, 3 winners, and 5 finalists per grade level. So K through 5, 6 through 8, 9 through 12. So awesome prizes for these guys. The grand prize is a $500 gift card. The 3 winners per grade level are a $100 gift card, and then $50 gift cards, and also some consultations with successful entrepreneurs, some pitch certificates, and resource bundles. So lots of great prizes. Mark and Aaron, anything to add to the Missouri Pitch Challenge?
Also the Spark mentorships with Venture Lab.
Absolutely. And you guys have had kids do that. So that is a scholarship to receive mentoring and startup materials for their idea. And it's valued at about $2,000. So it's an awesome opportunity for those kids who actually want to start their business or their product or their social enterprise. And you guys have had people, maybe Mark or Aaron can chime in, some of the kids that have done it in the past.
Yeah, Mark had to step away. So I'm not as familiar since I'm fairly new to the program and to the pitch challenge. But yeah, we had I think 4 go through the Spark mentorship program, and this year the grand prize winner will get it automatically, and then we're accepting applications for 2 others to also go through. And
Great.
yeah, unfortunately, Scott's not here. He would be the best one to
Right.
really talk about that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I can I'll put the link in the chat after I get off, but it's just a super opportunity for these kids to work with mentors and get some startup funds and, really get their product or service off the ground. So that's a really cool opportunity. And then 10 of the winners from the older 2 groups, the middle school group and the high school group, will also be invited to the national challenge. And that the prizes are $500 in cash and a consultation with a successful entrepreneur. So that is running exact same time period until July 15th. So look forward to some of those kids being in the national contest. And then we wanted to let you know out there, we do have some free curriculum and training. So this is our Young Entrepreneur Pitch Challenge Toolkit. You don't need to be an entrepreneur. You don't need to be necessarily an educator. Anybody can teach this. So we have instructions, we have worksheets in there. We have fillable worksheets if you happen to be doing it over Zoom. There's planning tools. It's fun, easy, and effective. So there is a teaching pitch challenge. I'll pop you into that in a minute. There's also a hosting guide. So those of you who wish to host your own pitch challenge in your own after school program, there's a guide and a toolkit and a timeline to help you with that. And then worksheets, forms, and case studies. So everything is in there, the videos for you to do this sort of as an easy lift. Here you can do it actually in about 5 lessons or even kind of less, depending on your culminating event. The first lesson is problem identification for the kids to identify the problems that they see in their community, their life, their school, and to come up with something that they're passionate about. To work towards a business opportunity, what opportunities are out there, and how can their product or service be different and better than others that are out there. Putting it together in a nice pitch content and structure, making it concise and efficient, and giving your advantages for the product or service so that they can actually do sort of a 60 to 90 second under 2-minute pitch on it. Obviously, practice is so important. So having them iterate and get better at it. And then the coaching and filming, and we have guidance on that for you in the toolkit as well. So you can do a live event within your program. This could be done with 5 students, or it can be done with the whole state of Missouri, as you can see. So lots of easy applications. It's flexible and really easy to use. So just thinking of next steps, downloading the toolkit, and I can put that link into the chat when I'm done. You can check out our YEI resources, and I'll put our website in the chat as well. Feel free to contact us. We are happy to consult, to brainstorm with you, to do a webinar, training, and get you any further resources that you need. We are technical assistant to all of you, so we're free of charge. And so if you would like us to, walk through the toolkit to make people feel more comfortable, we're happy to do that. So anything that you feel like you need guidance wise, feel free to contact me, and I'm happy to set that up. And feel free to join us if you have time at our Power Hours, our CYE, and our Inspire. And most of all, have fun doing it. And we look forward to working with you. So I'm Kelly Bigger. Here's my email, kbigger@us.edu. And I work very closely with my partner, Jessie Jones, and she's at jjones@us.edu. This is our toolkit registration and our YEI website. So I can put those in the chat for all of you. I was thinking, I'm not exactly sure how much time we have, but Aaron and Mark, would it be appropriate to show last year's compilation of the winners? Does that sound good?
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds great.
Awesome. And then I will pop in, let's see if we can hear this. Can you guys see that, or do I need to reshare again?
We can see it.
Can you see the video? Okay, let me know if you can hear this. So these were some of the kids that pitched last year in the Missouri After School Challenge. And we just did sort of a minute compilation of a bunch of the different pitches. So let me know if you're able to hear this. Good? Can you hear it?
My name is Judd Lawson. Have you ever faced the problem on how to hang your heat lamp? If so, I've got the solution with poultry yarn.
Have you ever wanted a pet, but you know your parents won't give it to you because there's just so much mess?
Have you ever felt down because someone was bringing you down? Or have you ever had insecurities about yourself?
Have you ever wished people would clean up the street? Well, my product is just what you need.
Scented Masks is an adjustable mask with a scented filter that lasts up to 1 week and a small speaker so you're never too quiet to hear.
Binder Builders is a company that makes and sells binders that can connect and disconnect with other binders like itself.
This is a design for my store, and there's very few items and most things are fresh and on the outside.
Petly is designed to find the perfect pet sitter for your pet. Once you fill out information about you and your pet, Petly features an interactive map.
With recipes, cooking can be fun, memorable, and most of all, give you delicious food.
So you might be wondering, why Betsy's Best? Betsy's Best baby blocks are made from the highest quality material.
The only soap and candle store in the county to give 25% of what I earn to the Children's Hospital.
And it's free the first 30 days subscription. After that, it will be $1 per month.
Buy now and get a special price under $15.
I am selling this for $30.
It is available at your local Target, Walmart, and Walgreens. Say goodbye to smelly masks.
So, when you need the best for your baby, go with Betsy's Best baby blocks.
Petly, because life happens.
Pet Playhouse is amazing. Pet Playhouse is galore. You should go to Pet Playhouse to train your animals and more.
So that was the compilation from last year. Wasn't that fun? They did such a great job. So I just thought, I don't know what our timing is here, that I could run you through the pitch challenge toolkit for a minute. Aaron, what are you guys timing wise?
Oh, we've got plenty of time.
You have plenty of time. Okay.
You do what you need to do.
Let me see if I can pull it up, and I can at least just kind of show you how it's set up in a lesson or two. I had it up, it disappeared.
I need to get a copy of that video. I don't know if we've got that on our server or not, but I definitely need it.
Yeah, happy to give that to you. So this all good. Can you guys see my screen? Awesome. This is the toolkit, and it's literally just in a Google folder so that we can we have an update coming soon so that we can just pop it in and out if there are any changes. So you can see what I was talking about: teaching a pitch challenge, hosting a pitch challenge, and the worksheets and forms. And here are a couple of videos. This is a Forbes message map video about Lush Cosmetics that goes along with it. This is the job on the milkshake video. This is a nice checklist for filming and just, easy things, practicing your equipment, your location. And then here's some tips for the kids: elevator pitch essentials. We call them 2 pipes to a great pitch. So having them working on projection, inflection, pace, eye contact, stance. So those are in the toolkit for you. And then here are sample pitches. So if you had a 5th to 8th grade group and you wanted to go in and see some sample pitches, they are here. They're social entrepreneur. enterprise pitches here that you can also look at. And we also have a YouTube channel that has pitches on it as well. And then there are videos to go along with the toolkit. So these are just quick videos. This goes with problem identification, invention mashup, business opportunity, and they're just like 30-second videos that you can play with the kids if you wish. So in terms of teaching a pitch challenge, here is our guide. And what is the Entrepreneurship Pitch Challenge? So this is just some verbiage if you ever need it. Teaching the kids the critical workforce readiness skills, developing the mindset that I was referring to. It's designed for them to connect a passion that they have with the solution to a problem, develop their solution, and do a quick under 2-minute video. So there's some more verbiage, instilling the important life skills in a fun way, reinforcing academic contact. And there's a lot of great ways that pitch challenges reinforce the visibility of your after-school programming. You can engage your local community members as leaders, as judges, as mentors, sponsors. So there's lots of ways to pull the community in. In terms of teaching, setting the stage, we have a lot of good videos that we can give you to set that stage. A lot of the kids have watched Shark Tank, so you can play off that a little bit, explaining the benefits, the lessons, warm-ups. There's links to Venture Lab. Obviously, this is sort of a light lift, and you all know Scott Mann with Venture Lab, so you can add anything in to that. And, this is a totally optional thing. Take what you want, leave what you don't, use Venture Lab, use whatever resources are out there that might work well with your program. People Rocket was another a couple set of resources that Stanford Design School helped us with. And so they are in there and clickable as well. These are the 5 dots that I just showed you that we talk about: the problem identification, business opportunity, pitch content and structure, practicing, and then coaching and filming. So each of the lessons are designed in the same way. They have a warm up. So this first warm up, we could actually just really do this really quickly. So we talked to the kids about shoes. Why do you wear shoes? You keep your feet healthy, warm, maybe for athletics. But then we talked to them like, what else could you do with a shoe? Think outside the box and try to come up with 10 other ideas of things you can do with a shoe. And you can use anything. If you're doing a unit or on something else, you can use a mask, you can use a water bottle, just having the kids think of what else could you do with that. So I don't know if maybe everybody could throw an idea or two in the chat of what else you think, think outside the box a little. There's a couple examples up here, but fly swatter, a phone holder. So type a few ideas in for me. Killing bugs, absolutely.
That's what they get used for a lot around.
Oh yeah, there's planters, awesome. What else can you think of? Laces as ropes. That's a good one. So you can take the shoes apart. You could take the canvas off and make something with the canvas, with the laces, with the eyelids, doorstop. I use a shoe, actually, when I go to the gym and work out, I put my keys in the shoe. Or somebody else said like a pet bed, a mouse could sleep in a shoe. What else can you think of? Any other fun ideas for a shoe? Use rubber as knee pads. Good job, Rhonda. Thinking outside the box there. Take it apart. What else? Yeah. What else can you do? Hang them in a Mardi Gras tree. Have you ever seen like shoes? So great ideas, you guys, with some creativity. So, having the kids come up with 10 of those quickly is sort of a fun exercise. And whether you're doing it on Zoom, you could do a waterfall, putting them in chat, or you can go around the room, or you can write them on the board, or you can do them on sticky notes. So, any sort of creative ways, and just to kind of get the juices warming up. There's another great group that I like called Creativity and Education, and they have a book that has just all kinds of fun creativity ideas. So I'll put that in the chat as well. So there's a warm up for each lesson. And then you can see the goal in this lesson would be to introduce problem identification and choose one or more problems that are meaningful to build the kids' interest. So thinking ahead, it's great to have a lot of problems, so then you can narrow them down. So the more problems, the better that you can come up with. And it gives kids an idea. And then So the outcome are going to be these ideas, that the possibility to develop into business ideas and then into pitches. So this is the main event, is a day in the life. So what we have the kids do is think about how their day is going. What do they do from getting up to having breakfast to going to school to after school to in school to, what problems are in their day? It's as small as tripping over a step or as big as, world hunger. So thinking of these problems, and you can write them up on the board within a brainstorming fashion, you have the kids write them down, which any way you feel is best. And we kind of feel like it's great for this lesson to just stay focused on identifying problems, not trying to think of solutions yet, just problems that are out there. So over to the right, you can see the further resources. So if you pop into the Venture Lab resources, Creativity B, Observation, Idea Generation A and B, and People Rocket. If you click on this, I don't know if my screen will take you over, but here are some other ideas for activities to do under that problem identification section. And then if there is time, we also talk about maybe having a pitching activity. So we put one at the end of each lesson. So the first one is just a scripted pitch. So giving the kids, there's a sample scripted pitch here, or you can come up with your own, or if you're doing a theme, a pitch about that. So it's just, for kids to just slowly, gain confidence, standing up in front of people, using eye contact, just building their confidence in trying to pitch in different methods. So in this one, they don't have to come up with the pitch, they don't have to think, but it's more in terms of presentation skills and getting comfortable. So each of these lessons is the same. So then moving on to business opportunity, you can see there's a warm-up that's called Invention Mashup. And it's really actually easy to do. And Venture Lab has a video on it if you want to dip into the Venture Lab materials. And it's just taking kind of two objects and trying to mash them together. So we even sometimes do this at our desks and saying, okay, what do you have? I have a pen and a water bottle. So, brainstorming on, how could I mash these two items together and come up with something, the kids can use their creative juices. It can be really thinking outside the box. It doesn't have to be something that you actually have to come up with. That's a fun one to do with the kids. And actually, I was even thinking the other day as I was blow drying my hair, there's some examples on here, like a food processor and blender and water bottle come up with NutriBullet. But I was thinking of, I don't know, those of you who've used this hair dryer, but like now there's a blow dryer that has the brush on it. So instead of having the brush and the blow dryer, they are mashed together as one, and you brush and blow dry at the same time. And I'm like, that's a cool example of mashing something together. And then you can work on a Venn diagram with the kids. We talked about, and you can do this individually, you can do this with a group. This actually is from a Boys and Girls Club here in downtown Cleveland area. Coming up with a whole bunch of different problems or needs. And so this one, they came up with a problem with schoolwork, clothes don't fit, breaking glasses in sports, spilling, losing things. And then on the other side, thinking what skills, what resources, what are your passions? What do you bring to the table? Things like the kids liked games and video boards and fashion and sports and cooking. And then sort of, coming together at the intersection of the problems, the needs, the skills, and the resources. So these guys put together schoolwork and games with doing kind of a learning games, a personal online shopping advisor, custom fit clothes, unbreakable part of a helmet or an apron. So it's just working together with the kids to do that either as a group and individually. So however you guys wish to do it. So this is one that was done where kids were hungry after school, but they had no time or a way to get to a store. And so this person was selling, they were organized, they had a summer job at the dollar store. And so they came up with the after school snack cart. So there's other different ideas and prototypes and templates in the blank worksheets and forms. And then in this one, you can also use this form if you want. This is just another sort of way to do it, talking to the kids about customer. Who's your customer versus your consumer? The consumer at this might be at the kids at school, but who's paying for it? That might be the parents who give the kids money. And what assets and qualities do you possess? You're available after school. You can buy in bulk. You have a locker for storage, the problem you're solving, and the solution. And talking to the kids about how do you uniquely solve this problem? What makes your product or service better than others that are out there? And then the pitching activity for this one is pitching improv. So just coming up with a couple ideas like on index cards or, whatever you're doing, it could be just easy topics for the kids based on their favorite sport or hobby, their favorite type of pet, their favorite restaurant, something that really is easy for them to come up with the top of your head to do an improv pitch. And then, putting it together in a great structure, what makes a great elevator pitch. So the goals here, understand one and formulate one, draft it. Again, there's further resources to use, what the pitch basics are. And there's a video in the toolkit that I just showed you that is called the message map under Lush. So that's a fun one to play for kids. But this message map is just a really neat way to organize it for the kids. So working with them on coming up with a hook. In this case, it's Sam will satisfy your hunger, or it could be a question. Are you hungry after school? Are you having trouble with sports because you're starving, or telling a story? And then what are the advantages? This one, it was convenience, variety. Perhaps you could pre-order your favorites. What makes this unique, better, and different? And then the details in terms of convenience, you can dig deeper. It's on site, it's open after school. You can get it before or after your program. And then finally, a call to action. How can the consumer and customer out there find you? You can find us in the main hallway from 2:30 to 4:30, or you can find us on www.yummybrownies.com, or, I'm on Instagram. So the kids can just make up a call to action and a way to find them. So we always tell the kids, we want you to, put out your product and leave them wanting more. So how can they find you? How can they find out more? So here's the sample pitch for that one. For pitch practice, there's some warm-up exercise. We have some videos, as you saw in this folder. And then if you go to our Young Entrepreneur Institute YouTube channel, more videos out there. And if you wish to, you could work with the kids on having them critique pitches using positive feedback, and seeing, what maybe they could improve upon next time. And so you can use these pitches as a venue to do that. So you can see how many qualities they can name on the pitching sheet that I showed you. And then practicing, these aren't our terms, but using the terms glow and grow, so that, working with the kids or these videos on what they do well and how they might grow, sort of in a phrased in a helpful and encouraging way. And so during the critique period, listening to ask question, who's your target customer? What gave you this idea? Why are you excited about the opportunity? What makes your product or service better than others? And this is a fun pen exercise. I'm sure Mark's done this at some of our workshops, but this is really easy and fun. You guys probably, I'm sure, have pens around that you could hold up and talk about. And there's actually kind of a cool video in our toolkit talking about what's the job of the milkshake. And you can use that. What's the job of these pens? So when you look at a pen with a logo, I have a Young Entrepreneur Pitch pen here, talking to the kids about, what job does this pen do uniquely well? What are the features that demonstrate this? Why is it different and better? And who's the target market? Who cares about these differences? So you can see, you can talk about a Sharpie, you can talk about a logo pen, you can talk about a really fancy fountain pen, you can talk about a regular Bic pen. So that's a fun pitching activity. And then what we usually do is have the kids either break up in groups or individually come up with their own pen. Think outside the box. Can you have a Bluetooth pen? Can you have a pen that glows in the dark so you can do it under your covers at night? Have them think of fun other pens that they can do. And this is the worksheet I showed you, the 2 pipes to a great pitch. We have some coaching and filming ideas, but it doesn't need to be fancy. As I said, doesn't need to be a commercial. You could see in that montage, the kids were just doing these, wherever they were. So here's a checklist, coaching and filming. And last but not least is reflection, talking to them about, if they were to start a business today, what would it be? What did they learn? What did they feel like they did well? What would they do differently next time? And we worked with one after school group in talking to them about what they would do differently next time. A lot of them said they would practice more. So that's interesting when you have self-reflection and realize, wow, some of these kids practiced more. They're really good at it, but I could be good at that too if I practiced a lot. So that is, in a nutshell, the pitch toolkit. And I'll just breeze really quickly on this hosting a pitch challenge guide. So if anybody wants to host it, within their after school community or beyond. We just have bullet points planning the challenge, choosing that format. Is it going to be video? Is it going to be live? Hopefully we'll be fun and get back to some live pitch challenges with things, hopefully working our way down in COVID. Defining your timeline, preparing a media campaign, depending on how big or small this is going to be. Engaging the community. Do you want some media? We've had a lot of programs that were able to get their local TV station or radio station and get some news out on the pitch challenge. Organizing your sponsors, your judges, your local community educational partners, running the challenge, conducting it, the awards ceremony, and the event wrap up. So here's a nice timeline before the challenge, 1 month, that gives you an easy way to start with your end in mind, work your way backwards. And there's also a mini challenge here. So if you just have 5 or 10 kids and you're just going to do it in your after school program, you could just go down that little mini challenge checklist. And so choosing a format, everything is detailed out that I was referring to. You guys are welcome to use our logo, and here's a bunch of information on engaging your community, your media, your sponsors. Here's some ideas, your local businesses, local officials, civic organization, chambers, as you guys know, are great. Foundations and ideas for prizes, judging. We have rubrics out there, running the challenge, how you're going to do it, video or live, the event wrap up, getting the prizes out, reflection, gratitude, having the kids write thank you notes. So all of this is in the guide for all of you to reference. And as I said, I'm happy to help anybody. We're here to assist and free of charge. So anything that anybody needs, look forward to it. What else, Mark and Aaron? Anything else to add?
Oh, well, you're just, you're amazing. So I don't know that there's much more you can add to that, except that, we want to continue to just have opportunities for students. So the MASN State Pitch Challenge is a great opportunity for students to win prizes, first of all, to practice and to throw out their idea, because we don't know where that idea may go. Because if they win, or they're selected to be a part of the Venture Lab Spark mentoring program in the fall, there's more opportunity. If they're one of the top 10, they get to go to the national, YEI Pitch Challenge, and they might win there. I mean, who knows where this may go? So the real goal here is just to make sure that we give students the opportunity to pitch their ideas as often as possible. Aaron is sharing the flyer that we're going to send out to all of you, that you can have, that you can distribute to your students. We will be getting that out on both the website, in the pipeline. We'll also send it out in email format. It'll be available online. Aaron's putting together a blog post right now. So I think we're pretty good. Kelly, does anybody have any questions for Kelly? Oh. All right.
Sounds great. Well, if anything pops up, be sure there's plenty of time to do this, and we're happy to do webinars, facilitating, chat with you, brainstorm, anything you wish. So please use us as a reference.
You betcha.
I will put some links in the chat here.
Well, anybody else have any questions for Kelly? Been a great, thanks Kelly for your email in there.
You're welcome.
It's been a great PLC. Again, every time we get together, I'm inspired. I love the fact that we get a chance to record this so that others can see it. And so we look forward to connecting again in May, but just glad that you all have joined us today, and we will continue to get information out to you. And so everyone have a great day. We appreciate you so much, and we will talk soon.